doing? So, the science of climate change and why CERN is actually a death blow to the planet. So, I've been talking about climate change pretty much all the time. So let's just recap, go over this again. Climate change isn't because of our emissions, it's because of fossil fuel extraction. The lower you go in the Earth's core, the higher the pressure, the higher the energy, and the hotter it is. And all those things want to level out or escape. Energy repels from energy. Heat always wants to go to cold. High pressure always wants to go to low pressure. So you poke a bunch of holes in the top there. You weaken that, what is a insulation barrier, and like a pressure holding all that down below. Then the Earth's core loses energy, which is the cause of climate change and all the things that we see going on. Whether we're talking about bigger and more frequent hurricanes, because the fluids down there in what are kind of have been described as like globular clusters, essentially masses of energy, interact more. They're pulling in more to get these massive hurricanes and all these other driven things. Like we're venting space, breakdown of the jet streams, the polar vortexes. All these are because of fossil fuel extraction. Okay, and now moving on to the next point. In another video I explained how when you take out a bunch of gases, like in the Earth's core, not the core, but in the mantle and the crust, there's going to be pockets of gas throughout there. And then in a lot of those cases, underneath there, there's lava and other masses that want to, take in that spot. So that creates a seal in itself, which isn't very conductive. It's more of a neutral for energy. So you take out a bunch of that gas, and then the lava comes in there, making it more conductive, heating the planet, causing forest fires. It raises, the energy is conductive through, like, I used it on the West Coast, like through a mountain range, because all that rock is close, it's metallic, its energy travels through there a lot better, therefore you get a heating effect and more forest fires. So my point here is that to save the planet and stop climate change, ultimately, if you stop the planet from bleeding, if we stop fossil fuel extraction, then it would eventually repressurize and it would go back. It'll take time. We'll have to deal with what we're dealing with now for a while, but it would get better rather than the opposite, getting worse, ultimately leading to the destruction of the planet. And that will come, if we continue down the path that we're on. And what will actually happen, like, preppers beware, because this isn't the kind of thing where you can just plant a garden. Like once it snaps, the snapping point is when the surface will no longer be able to maintain life, grow plants and whatnot, and that is part of climate change that will come down the road. So it's very important to stop what we're doing before we get to that point. So if we stop what we're doing, it'll repressurize, and where that lava came up, and now it's conductive, and those mountain ranges are causing these forest fires and whatnot. Eventually, it will repressurize, and the lava will down beneath there will recede, and then gas will refill up those pockets. And it might be slightly different, but that will happen. It will take time. But understanding that, it's going to take that mass and that lava and all these fluids in the Earth's core moving around to actually do that. And one way I would look at it, like, so you got like a lava in there, you need that lava or currents kind of going underneath to pull it back out. I would explain it similar to the way if you're driving really fast in a boat, you got a bunch of water in the back of the boat, you pull that plug, the water gets sucked out through like a vacuum. And so that's what that's kind of like the same effect. And then it fills up with gas, repressurizes, because these things change. The flows in the Earth change, especially once we're taking it out and once it starts to repressurize, if we get to that point, which, hopefully we all do. The big issue here, is CERN. I've raised the concern about it before, and I got to say it again, because everything that we do when it comes to limiting fossil fuel extraction, ultimately quitting fossil fuel extraction, is going to be negated by CERN. So just to recap, CERN being a super large, about 27 kilometer long electromagnet in the Earth's crust. So it's down there where the masses of the mantle and the crust are more compressed. Energies are going to transfer through that mass much more efficiently. So it's going to have a greater effect. So there's only two causes the CERN can really do. It can either be an attractive force or a repelling force. In either way, the energies from that are going to ripple through the crust and through the core, which is still very dense. It's very energized, so it's very volatile. Just picture, for example, a glass lake, or even like a glass of water, and you drop something in there, a rock or a drop of other water or something. That ripple effect you get, that's the same thing that CERN does, okay? So you have that going on there, and it creates an energy field, and that field will, either push out or pull in those masses, and that causes total changes down in the Earth's core. It will cause it to have like a nuclear reaction and erupt like the La Palma volcano and these things. So it's extremely important to shut this accelerator down and other accelerators that would be having the same effect. There's over 50 of them to my knowledge. The one in Japan I highlight because it's around a mountain, and again, energy around a mountain is going to have a really it's going to transfer that energy a lot more. And when you hit the Earth's core or affect the ripples or the fluids of the Earth's core, that has a ripple effect. That's going to be noticed anywhere, or in certain spots around the planet. So if you hit something hard, like at the top of the fluid of it, that's ripple effect is going to go throughout the planet in some way or another, whether it comes out the other side or whether it comes out halfway around the planet itself. It does have that effect. So it's extremely important, if we're going to come together and save this planet, it's extremely important to shut down CERN and these other particle accelerators. I can't stress that enough. It's of the utmost importance to shut them down. So again, I have to urge that. I think that's it for this video. One other thing when I talk about CERN, I have had experience with observing a particle accelerator, quite a small one. And my buddy used to have an apartment across from it, hey? And we would watch, I would sit there and I'd watch it. There'd be a ring of clouds around the top of the... Sorry about that. Hey, guys, calm down. Sorry. So there'd be like a ring of clouds around the top. That's an energy field, okay? And this is like a small one. And this one is on the surface of the Earth's crust. That CERN's way down below, so it's going to affect down below. But that created a ring around there, And so they do have a significant impact on the environment and, the energy fields of the planet. So if we can come together and those are the most two important things to save the planet. The science is really, we got to stop fossil fuel extraction, and we got to stop the damage we're doing to the Earth's core, which is things like CERN and whatnot. Yeah, that's it. I have to stress it because it's something I think about all the time. And time is getting short here. We got to do this immediately if we're going to come together and save the planet. Thanks, guys. See you later.